Welcome back to the Sooner Saloon. I'm here with Emerson Campbell. My brother Taylor's not going to be here tonight. So, important news coming out. Lincoln Riley will not be the next head coach for LSU. He'll be the next coach for USC and not Oklahoma. That's the important thing going forward. Huge shock to me. I have a couple beers on this counter, which I need. Very desperate moment. Emerson, were you shocked by this news?
Shocked is an understatement.
Right.
I was probably speechless for probably about a good 10 minutes because I went to bed this morning at like 8 a.m. after I got off work. And then I woke up and I knew LSU wasn't going to happen. There was just something that like I felt. I was like, nah, he's not going to LSU. He would not like. I think Oklahoma's a better job all around than LSU, especially with them moving to the SEC. So I didn't see it with LSU. But the USC news out of nowhere, and then it was confirmed on like ESPN and Yahoo and CBS. I was like, oh my God.
When I saw that it was coming from ESPN, when I got that notification, I was like, okay, this is real. It's happening.
Disclaimer, everyone, there's going to be a lot of cursing on this because this is insane, okay? So just prepare yourself, all right? Earmuff, your kids, whatever. But, yeah. And then you see the numbers. I heard it was like a 10-year contract at $15 million a year guaranteed. I mean, I don't know how accurate that is, but like, if that's the case, I mean, there's no way Oklahoma can compete with that offer. I mean,
money talks, man. Money talks.
Money fucking talks.
You know, this is the first time.
Bullshit walks.
This is the first time we're in search of a head coach since 1999. When we were out to go get Bob Stoops. But hey, man,
Big Game Bob is back. Give us a good matchup for this bowl game. I want. Like, if Bama loses to Georgia in the SEC championship, give us Bama. Dude, let's do it. This will be fun. I think Bob will dial some stuff up, man.
It is going to be really nice to see Bob Stoops on that sideline again. Because I didn't think I'd see that ever again.
This is the thing I'll have to say. This is one thing I'll say to fans that are freaking out right now about the Lincoln Riley news and about his departure. Yes, it's absolutely batshit crazy coming out of nowhere. And, I mean, talk about Oklahoma with some breaking news in the last 18 months. But Oklahoma's got a big tree, especially with Bob Stoops, of great coaches that are still out in college football that would still find the head coaching job at Oklahoma very attractive. So, before you sell all your stock in Oklahoma, you think it's going to be done forever and we're going to, it's going to go back to the 90s. Just hold your horses. Oklahoma does have options, and Joe Castiglione is one of the best athletic directors in the entire country.
Yeah, he's always made huge hires, and they've always worked out for him.
Absolutely.
As we talk, Emerson, Malachi Nelson decommits from Oklahoma.
Yep, it's already started. So we're going to lose all the Los Alamitos kids. They're all following Lincoln Riley. We're just going to get right into it, folks. Let's talk recruiting, all right? Because that's what's going to happen. I mean, no matter what, Oklahoma's going to have a little bit of talent. They're probably going to be better off than Texas going into the SEC. Don't expect them to win any SEC championship anytime soon, but they could be middle of the pack. Basically, with how this is shaping up to be.
Okay, dude.
Next couple years.
Forget our.
But with recruiting, already not surprised.
Dude, forget our top 10 2022 recruiting class. Forget our ranked number 1 2023 recruiting class. All these guys are decommitting as we speak. All of them. We have Raleek Brown. Hold on.
And for those of you who don't know, Malachi Nelson, that's the 5-star quarterback out of Los Alamitos, California, who will now be probably changing his commitment to USC.
Dude, Raleek Brown decommits Brandon Ennis decommits. Trayon Webb decommits. And now Malachi Nelson decommits. Expect this. Expect this from now to National Signing Day to in the offseason. Maybe even consider guys in the transfer portal just to be with Lincoln Riley because he's that kind of head coach. Huge loss for the Sooners.
But keep in mind, these are going to be mostly, probably 90%, I would say at least, offensive guys. Keep that. I mean, Alex Grinch is still there, and he handles his recruiting on his side pretty much from what it seems like.
Okay, but I mean, dude, Oklahoma's been such a powerhouse offensively. You know, the only plus side to this is maybe we get more physical on defense. Other than that, we're joining the SEC in the next probably 2 years. It's too late for us to join it next season. Okay, we're gonna be in the Big 12 for at least one more year. In the SEC, who knows how that's going to go, okay? I'm just saying, you know, Lincoln Riley was 55-10 as a head coach at Oklahoma. What makes him want to leave? You know, he's had 3 playoff appearances as a head coach, 1 playoff appearance as an offensive coordinator. He's had 2 Heisman winners, 2 number 1 overall draft picks. He's had so much success at Oklahoma. And we were peaking right now. The recruiting has been off the charts. We were set up for the future to win a natty. That's the only thing he hasn't done so far. That's the only thing. As well as win a playoff game.
I'm just going to correct myself right now because I'm looking at Twitter while you were talking, Nick. I'm sorry. And I agree with everything you just said. Take everything I just fucking said about defensive recruits staying maybe because of Alex Grinch. Take that out the fucking window. Because Kobe McKenzie, the best linebacker in Texas in the 2022 class, who's been committed to Oklahoma for like 2.5 years since I started following recruiting. As of 27 minutes ago on Twitter, he is
reopening his
decommitted from the University of Oklahoma, and his recruitment is completely open. Yep. So it's a fucking fire sale of Oklahoma recruits. And God knows how many players are going to stay. Why would Caleb Williams stay? Why would Spencer Rattler stay? His fan base booed him.
Yeah.
Early in the season, before he had even lost a game.
Yeah, man. It's going to take a couple years to build this back up.
Why would any of these people want to stay with the toxicity that's been abundant and rampant in this fan base? I'm sorry.
Dude, now I'm
freaking out, people. That's basically what's happening.
We're gonna be in rebuild mode for the next 3 to 5 years. I guarantee it. Especially with joining the SEC. And is it because Lincoln Riley
of the SEC West?
Do you think Lincoln Riley is afraid to go to the SEC? That's why he's joining the Pac-12, or do you think this is all about money, or a combination of both?
It's got to be a combination of both, I would think. I would say maybe a slightly larger portion would probably be because of the money.
Okay.
And I mean, it's USC, it's location. You're in Hollywood, blah 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 blah. That state's going to fall off the edge of the country in like 60 years, whatever. Who cares? But that's probably.
Let's talk about some coaches potentially taking over the Oklahoma job.
Yes. Good idea, yes. Because this is becoming doomsday speak, and I apologize.
If you had to choose one guy, or maybe a top 3, or just some guys that you think could take over the job, who do you think it's going to be? Or who do you think the right approach could be?
See, this is interesting because you want to think about, initially you think about, okay, who's just been at Oklahoma that would probably come back that's having success right now? And so people that come to mind are Shane Beamer and Josh Heupel at Tennessee, who's doing a really great job there.
I don't like the Josh Heupel.
Both those teams are SEC teams.
I'm just not in on that.
I wouldn't hate it, but I think those are both unlikely. Those are my top 3.
Right.
I mean, both of those guys just got there.
On the list.
Shane Beamer loves South Carolina. He grew up there. And I'm happy. I'm happy with what he did at Norman, but I completely understand him wanting to stay in South Carolina. That's no, Shane Beamer's a great person.
And Josh
Excuse
Heupel
me.
kind of got ran out the door by Oklahoma too.
Exactly. Yeah, and yeah, I'm sure the relationship is sour with Josh
So
Heupel as
I
well.
just
So
don't
that's
see that happening. Them just saying, "Hey, come be the head coach at Oklahoma."
I agree. That's why I'm saying those aren't my picks.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm just
But it
saying
would be considered.
I was just saying this is my thought process. So
Okay.
But anyway, so you think about those guys come to mind, but you throw them out the door, and you really start to think about it. Okay, well, Clemson's down this year. Granted, they've been really good for a long time, but they're down this year. And Brent Venables has pretty big ties to Oklahoma, and he won a national championship here. So, and I think he would be a fantastic hire as far as
Personally,
a
Emerson,
defensive-minded guy.
personally, I think Oklahoma needs to go defensively. Defensive-minded head coach. Do you agree with that?
I agree because that's the side of the ball that's been lacking. But also, if you look at how this is shaping up, that will still be the side of the ball that will probably be able to carry this team to any sort of good for the next couple of years. Will be the defensive side. And that's where you'll still have maybe a couple recruits. You'll have some talent, and you'll be able to get recruiting kind of going in that direction first. So obviously Brett Venables, that's an easy one that you would think of. I like Mark Stoops at Kentucky. He's had a couple pretty good seasons with them. He's another defensive kind of guy. At least I think he is. So that's not a bad look either. And I mean, I don't know. I've heard Dave Aranda's slated to LSU. I've heard it's pretty much a done deal. But if Oklahoma could swing it, that'd be great. I don't know if he has any ties. I've also heard of Cliff Kingsbury. I don't believe that, though. I mean, he's got things rolling in Arizona, and he's got Kyler Murray, and they're leading the NFC.
What about
So
Luke
they're
Fickle?
they're
What
probably
about
gonna
Luke
get-
Fickle from Cincinnati?
See, that's interesting because I just saw last week that he said he's staying in Cincinnati, and he's
Okay,
here
but
for the long term.
Oklahoma, the job wasn't open. You wouldn't think
That's true.
Lincoln Riley would be leaving Oklahoma. Such a
See,
better
that's a
program
good
than
point.
Cincinnati, but Cincinnati is on the edge of making a playoff. If Oklahoma State beats Baylor,
And they're
and
also
they
going
jump
to be joining
Cincinnati.
the Big 12 in a couple of years.
if they jump Cincinnati, I think that would be a very likely option, and that would be something that I wouldn't mind. I did hear about Cliff Kingsbury, but he has things rolling in Arizona. I believe he's 9-2, and Kyler Murray and D-Hop
Yeah.
have been hurt the last 2 to 3 weeks. And how about Matt Campbell from Iowa State? Not a bad hire to me. He's a good coach.
I would be very happy to land Matt Campbell. But again, it seems like I think him and Iowa State have been working out a new deal for him to get him even more money, and he seems extremely loyal to that place, and he seems like he's there for the long haul. So it's another great coach that I would absolutely approve of.
Emerson,
But
let me
I
ask you
don't see it
something.
happening. But I also don't know. I don't know jack shit about squat on this.
Well,
so,
let me ask you
because
something, though.
fucking no one knew about this Lincoln Riley news.
Would you rather be the head coach at Iowa State, or would you rather be the head coach at Oklahoma? Unbiased.
Oklahoma,
Act like you're not an
100%.
Oklahoma fan.
Oklahoma, 100%.
Right.
You have so many
why
more
would you turn down an
recruiting lanes
Oklahoma
and
job?
recruit.
I'm just saying, if I had to give a top 3 candidates right now,
Yeah, let me
honestly,
hear yours.
I would go number 1. I would want Brent Venables because he's
Yeah.
just such a great defensive-minded head coach, and I think that's what we need right now. Number 2, I would say Bob Stoops. Just because, I don't think you drop off much by losing Lincoln Riley and transitioning back to Bob Stoops. I think he can still managed the team extremely well. He knows the OU team too well to not do very well. And then number 3, I would probably I'll go with 3A and a 3B. Number 3 would probably be Luke Fickell. Number 3B would probably be Matt Campbell. If we could get any of those guys, I would be content. I don't want Lane Kiffin. I think that's kind of a joke of a hire. I think he would be good offensively, and he would be a good players coach, but I don't think he's bought into any team because he jumps around like no other, and it's annoying. And then Mark Stoops, he's proven himself in the SEC, but I think Oklahoma needs to get the top of the bunch for this hire. They have to nail it. Oklahoma is going to be feeling this loss of Lincoln Riley for a while. I have the feeling.
I will say with Bob, I'm fine with Bob coming in to take back over if he wants to, and I completely understand if he doesn't because it's a lot of work. I get it. And he's probably loving his life right now in retirement and selling his tequila and being on,
Dude, he's
Fox
so passionate.
Big noon kickoff.
He's so passionate.
No, that's true.
Like he gave the reins to Lincoln Riley because he knew that he was gonna put OU in a good situation, and I think it would break him and devastate him to see OU in a rough spot. Therefore, I think he has a feeling still in his heart that says, "I want this program to be good still."
Yes, well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm fine with Bob coming in. But he better not bring in Mike. I swear to God.
Well, I didn't even mention Alex Grinch. But yeah, I think that's a guy that could interview. If
Alex Grinch wants to take over, might as well. He probably knows the most about the program. He can keep all of his guys around because Oklahoma's got some good coaches on the defensive side of the ball. And they're good recruiters. And if they can keep those guys there, then that'll just be that easier to make this transition, go smoothly. As smoothly as possible.
Yeah, man.
So
maybe I am cheering for Oklahoma State. Maybe I want Luke Fickell. I don't know, man. We'll see how this thing turns out. It's going to be chaos.
If Oklahoma State can beat down Cincinnati and just break Luke Fickell.
Just completely demoralize him.
But at the same time, I want another big school in Ohio that's not Ohio State. Because I think that will make a huge power shift in college football. If Ohio State has to share half their state with Cincinnati, who's in the Big 12 now, and in another Power 5 conference with just as a similar path to the playoff, why not? I'm all for it. So
yeah, I'm all for it too.
Obviously, I would take Luke Fickell in a heartbeat if rumors of him coming to Oklahoma were ever to come true.
Right, I would take it all day, but realistically, I just Ohio State's been so good in recruiting. I just don't see Cincinnati really comparing to them. I mean, they do a really good job of progressing players and having them ready to go, but they're also going to be playing a tougher schedule than what they're used to. Not every single game is going to be completely winnable like it has been the past however many seasons.
Yeah, but this will also be, they're also moving into a Power 5 conference, which gives them a lot more national games. It gets them a lot more games on ESPN, ABC, Fox.
It does. I'm not saying that they can't get it done.
And I'm not saying it'll happen overnight. I'm just saying it could. It will change the balance a little bit. They'll be able to get more guys in state, and
yeah, take away from Ohio State's dynasty what they're building under Ryan Day.
Right. Which I think, I will say this about Ohio State. They got all those 5-star defensive linemen, and they got pounded by Michigan.
Dude, Michigan has been tired of Ohio State, been walking all over them for the past 20 years. They're tired of hearing it.
No, that's true.
Honestly, I'm glad that they won that game. I didn't think they would,
100%.
Considering what happened against Michigan State.
If we can take one
Purdue.
positive thing out of this weekend, it's that Ohio State lost to Michigan.
The little brothers.
And Bama almost
won.
lost to Auburn.
Yeah, besides Bama, but whatever.
Yeah, Bama should have lost that game. Anyway,
that's pretty much what I got for this episode.
Yeah, this Lincoln Riley news sucks. Everything was just starting to get momentum, and now we'll see what happens. So,
right. So, winning the Big 12 championship every single year he's been with Oklahoma, and first time he does it, and he's off. So,
I will ask this: do you think if Oklahoma won that game, do you think he would have stayed?
I think his mind was already made up. I truly believe that.
Do you think that had an effect on his play calling?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah. So.
Well, I don't know if he took any. I don't know if he interviewed like before or after the game or anything. I don't know.
Dude, it had to have been beforehand. Dude, it wouldn't surprise me if he went down there on the bye week.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. This season hasn't been the expectation. And I don't know. I don't know the timing. That's just me taking a shot in the dark. But I don't know. It just seemed like something was off about Lincoln this season. And it's not all on him. You know, the play calling I didn't agree with for a long time until about week 5. You know, when we actually started running the ball on first down. But I don't know, man. We just weren't sharp. And obviously we didn't meet the expectations. It's all up to him, whatever. I'm definitely mad about it. But whatever. It is what it is. He's gone. We got to start looking. We got to get the top guy on the shelf. High quality.
Yeah. Joe C., this is your time to shine, bud. Make it happen.
We'll see. We'll see.
So,
but
that's all I got.
That's it from us from the Sooner Saloon. So, as always, Boomer Sooner.
Boomer.